Hey guys, how you doing? Today I'm going to be showing you how to play pinch harmonics on the electric guitar. We're going to be going through the four main principles you need to keep in mind to execute pinch harmonics correctly and consistently. And then we're going to talk about how you can practice pinch harmonics on a daily basis if you're completely new to them. Alright, so let's get right into it. Alright guys, now principle number 1. The first thing you need to keep in mind when you're trying to do a pinch harmonic has to do with your picking hand. Alright, and it is pretty simple. You need to keep most of the pick inside of your hand and only the tip outside of your picking hand. Alright? Now what this does is that it makes it easier for the flesh of your thumb to graze the string after the pick hit it. And that is exactly how we get the pinch harmonic sound. Your pick is gonna hit the string is going to vibrate from that hit, and as that string is vibrating, the flesh of your thumb is going to graze on it, and that is how we get the pinch harmonic sound. Now, I do not know the scientific aspect of it, or why exactly does this happen, but that is the technical aspect of it, and that is all you need to know. Now, one more point I want to discuss here regarding this first principle is that it is general lead guitar advice to keep most of the pick inside of your hand and just a little bit of it outside of your hand. This is because it gives you much more control over the pick. If you're trying to do a shred, if you're trying to just play lead guitar in general, you're going to want most of the pick inside of your hand and just a little bit of it outside of your picking hand. So say I was shredding and there came the time during that shred that I want to do a pinch harmonic. What I would do is I would pinch, wink wink, the pick a little bit extra inside of my hand. So say I'm shredding like this, alright, with this much of the pick outside of my picking hand. When the time came to do a pinch harmonic, it would kind of like do this little bit of a motion, kind of a pinch motion. Alright, just a little extra tip there regarding that point. Alright guys, now the second principle number 2. The second thing you need to keep in mind when you're trying to do a pinch harmonic has to do with your picking hand as well. And it is 1, you always do a pinch harmonic with a downstroke, never with an upstroke. 2, you're always going to do it with a slight downward tilt in your picking hand. Now, let's talk a little bit about that first point. Alright, doing it with a downstroke. Why can't you do it with an upstroke? And this has to do with how a pinch harmonic happens. If you remember in the first principle number 1, I talked about how a pinch harmonic is done. The pick is going to hit the string is going to vibrate, and as the string is vibrating, the flesh of your thumb, and this is a key point here, the flesh of your thumb is going to graze on that vibrating string. Now, when you're doing a downstroke, it's easy for this to happen, really, because if you look at the thumb, and most people's picking hand is going to have the thumb a little bit forward on the pick, whereas the index is going to be very much backward. Alright, so it's much easier for the thumb in a downstroke to graze the string rather with an upstroke, because you kind of be moving it away from the string rather than into the string. Alright, and you can't really try something like doing it with your index finger, because then you would need to put your index finger forward on the pick, and that is just kind of dysfunctional. You won't be able to pick very well. If you're trying to do a pinch harmonic, it's just the pick is just not going to get the string to vibrate with your index finger in that thumb, so let alone kind of try to graze it. So it's just a whole mess, and it just won't work like that. Alright guys, now regarding that second point with the downward tilt, again, all this does is that it makes it easier for your thumb to graze the string after the pick hit it. Alright, that's really all there is to it. Look at anyone doing a pinch harmonic. Anyone. When they do that pinch harmonic, you're going to see that their right hand is slightly tilted downward. They're technically picking downward. Alright? Your neutral picking position will kind of look like this. You do a pinch harmonic, it's more like this. Alright, there's a slight tilt to it. And that's really all there is to it. Alright guys, now it's time for principle number 3. And if you're still watching this, then congratulations, you're on your way to making the squealy squeals, making those pigs scream. So keep it up. Anyway, principle number 3 also has to do with your picking hand, but this time it's gonna deal with the position of your picking hand. So that is where your picking hand is when you do that pinch harmonic in relation to the fretted note. Alright, and I don't want to make this too complicated for you, you know, I don't want to like get too in depth with it. I'm just going to give you what you need to know. Alright, just the bare, you know, meat and potatoes of the matter. So say I were to do a pinch harmonic on the 12th fret, that's going to be a constant here. I'm not going to move my left hand, it's always going to be on the 12th fret, but I am going to be moving my right hand as I do pinch harmonics here and there. Alright, so let's try it over here next to my neck pickup, for example. We get that specific sound. What if I were to try to do, kind of make it a little bit lower? It would give me a different sound. Now what if I were to go up to the 24th fret, and yes, you can do a pinch harmonic on the 24th fret, but mainly if you're at the 12th fret, alright? So, see? You can do pinch harmonics all over the place. Some places you may not be able to do a pinch harmonic. Some places it will be a little bit harder. There may be no pinch harmonic there. You know, but the main idea here is that if you're looking for a specific sound, try changing up the position of your right hand. You know, look for that pinch harmonic that you're looking for. Alright guys, now the fourth principle is pretty goddamn simple, but it's probably the most important, really. Always, always, always do your pinch harmonics with vibrato, okay? It's like, the vibrato is like technically the cherry on top, really. The cherry on top of that sweet, sweet wedding cake. And without it, it's all pointless, alright? You just tear down the whole cake and you throw it in the trash. It's useless, alright? No one does a pinch harmonic like this. That's not cool, man. Doesn't really sustain as well, too. You want to add in that nice little vibrato, give it a little bit more of sustain. So keep it in always in your head that whenever you do a pinch harmonic, you want to get that string moving with your left hand. Alright, like I talked about in my guitar progress video when I was giving you guys tips on how to become a great guitar shredder, one of the points was vibrato. And how you do vibrato, you don't want to shake your entire body and shake your hand. You just want to shake the string, alright? The string has to be moving and doesn't really take a lot of motion. Alright? You don't really need to have a stroke or anything like that. And that is principle number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Alright guys, now in regards to practicing pinch harmonics on a daily basis, what I would recommend is before you do anything in your daily practice routine, and I really hope you are practicing every day, because if you want to get to that Android level of shredding, then you should be practicing every day. And what I would do to practice pinch harmonics is, before you do anything, alright, before you practice your song, before you practice your solos, before you practice your sweep picking and tapping and all that stuff, sit down with the guitar, go to the 12th fret of the 3rd string, use all the principles that I talked about, the 4 principles you need to keep in mind when you're trying to do a pinch harmonic, and attempt to do at least 10 pinch harmonics right over there, alright? Pause in between a little, take your time, alright? The idea here is that you're gonna want to keep trying and trying. You're gonna get it, at first you may get it 0 out of 10. Alright, you may get very weak pinch harmonics at the beginning, but nevertheless, it's a little bit of a pinch harmonic. The next day, for example, you get 1 out of 10. That one time it worked correctly, your brain is gonna go like, man, what did I do right there? Alright, and like, let me try to do that again. And you're gonna get closer and closer, and every time you're gonna get it right, you're kind of your brain is gonna try to remember that feeling of doing it right, and it's going to mimic it more and more. And that's the best way I can kind of like, explain it, but really all you need to do is that after you have these principles down in mind, you know, keep it simple, do it on the same place. You know, you can move your right hand up and down if you want to kind of get different sounds and all that fun stuff. Alright, but I would say overall, keep it on the 12th fret. That's an easy place to do it. And just keep trying. Eventually, as you do it more, you're going to start doing it more and more times out of 10. So like first it's going to be 1, then it's going to be 2, and eventually you get to the point in which you can do it consistently 10 times in a row. And when you get to that point, I would say start branching out, alright? Start doing it maybe on the 2nd string, on the 4th string, the 12th fret, 1st string, the 6th string, the 12th fret. You know, and then after that, kind of try to go, start branching out on the fretboard every day. kind of challenge yourself to nail 10 pinch harmonics on one particular fret. Before you know it, you'll be able to do pinch harmonics all over the fucking place. What I would also recommend is not really shying away from anything that has pinch harmonics in riffs or in solos, alright? So if you see a pinch harmonic in a solo, use those 4 principles we talked about earlier and keep trying to nail it on that fret, separate from whatever comes after it. For example, it's at the end of a run, ignore that run and just try to nail it on that fret. Once you nail it 10 times in a row, try working it out to that run. And the same thing for riff, just try to nail it on the fret. It may be, for example, on the 5th fret of the 6th string. Just try to nail it over there 10 times in a row, and then kind of try to include the rest of the riff. Though I would recommend you do not mess around with this until you have the first idea of just doing at least 10 pinch harmonics on the 12th of the 3rd string in a row. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson for how to play pinch harmonics on the electric guitar. There's definitely a lot more coming up on the channel as regards to non-song tutorials, stuff that will just help you improve as a guitarist in general. And let me know if there's anything you guys want to see in specific in the comments below. There's actually a part 2 to this video coming out somewhere in November, and it has to do with all the different ways you can use pinch harmonics in your own solos. Alright, so that's pretty much that, guys. Happy shredding.